Coach, just Travis Kelce. I mean, I know you've talked about how much he worked at, getting in shape and everything, but he seems like, 2, 3 years younger almost, right? In the way, I mean, his first catch, he made a nice little cut and turn. We didn't see a lot of that. I'm just curious, one, I mean, do you see that same kind of, a lot more spring in his step this year than he had last year? And two, was there maybe, I know you never talk about injuries, in the middle of things, but was he maybe battling some things that, I know everybody's dinged up and banged up during the course of the year, but was there maybe some injury things that were maybe nagging that, nobody wanted to talk about at the time, but maybe now you could reveal to us?
You're talking about last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not that I recall, but we've been giving him a lot of Geritol, and he really has, progressed. Like,
Oh, that's it. Okay. The Geritol. All right. I thought maybe there was going to be more. All right. And then I know you like to, when you win the coin toss, to defer. I think everybody understands why, the chance to get the double possessions. Were you surprised, with the Lions move, and did that serve to maybe motivate the team a little bit, that, they weren't, going for that they were trying to make a statement. So to maybe make a statement back.
yeah. So it's not the first time they did that. That was the third time they had done that this year. So we anticipated something like that possibly happening, and but the guys they're good with that. I, I don't know if it was motivation or not, but our guys saw, they knew that they had done it before, so it wasn't a big surprise.
Right. And then seizing on the opportunity, getting it, you basically got the score the way it was. How important was that in the game to be able to go from 10-6 down to 20-10, basically with just a few seconds that they were only able to possess the ball?
Yeah, yeah, that was a positive, definitely. Are you talking about the drive in the second half, the first drive, the
The,
second
the,
half?
yeah, the
Yeah,
confidence, just being able to do. I mean, I know that's what everybody
yeah,
wants to do: get that touchdown going into the half and get another one coming
yeah.
out.
No,
How
no,
much?
absolutely. That's huge, and you're right. The stop before the half was also big. We ended up taking a knee there at the end, but with just a few seconds on the clock. But that drive to be able to stop him there was big, and then the drive before that, where we were able to get a score, was good. So, and then obviously coming out the second half, you're always striving for that. You try to come out with a purpose, um, and the guys did a great job of executing and getting a score.
Well, let's go next to Nick Jacobs.
And Sydney, I'll have a follow-up if I can, please. Andy, to go from Monday night to where, you have the 13 penalties and it's a late night, you guys are flying back, to be able to match the challenge this week and execute the way you did, have zero penalties on the score sheet, and for them to match the physicality of the Lions, what do you feel like that says about this team?
Yeah, Nick. Listen, I thought the officials let the guys play. I'm not saying I agreed with everything that went on, but I thought they were very fair on how they did it, and so they could have called us on some, and they could have called them on some, and they kind of let it play out, and let the teams really show off what they've got. So, which I think is good. I think it's good for everybody. I think it's good for the fans. It's good for within reason, within reason. But and then we had to tighten some things up, Nick. I mean, all 13 of those calls weren't wrong. I mean, that's not what I'm saying here. We had to tighten some things up, and I thought our guys did that. They worked on it during the week, and just making sure their fundamentals and technique were right. And half of it is moving yourself into a position where you can execute. And and so and that comes down to footwork and speed and angles. And you've got to do that. I mean, those are things that you can take charge of and work on.
And then from a run game perspective, what do you hope the offensive line and the running backs take away from being able to take on the challenge of a physical front like that?
Yeah, well, I thought Pop ran hard, and I thought he was accurate with his reads. And then when Kareem came in, I thought the same thing, powerful, and it starts with the O line. I mean, they've got to have things rolling up front, but they played physical. Our offensive line played physical against a good defensive line, and a defensive front, because I mean those linebackers aren't tiny guys either. They're big old guys back there and physical. So, but I thought they played well. There are things we can do better all the way around. I mean, that's not there's places that we need to tighten up and make it better than what we had. But overall, I'd tell you it was a pretty good job.
We'll go next to Jesse Newell.
Hey Andy,
Hey, Jeff.
Pat mentioned last night that the receivers get along really well on this team. I just wondered what you've seen kind of from inside the building as far as that group and how they've built up chemistry over time.
Yeah, Jesse, I tell you a little bit like this is what I meant when I said after the game that they having one come back into the fold there and be able to play, and then Rasheed coming back in the building, period. They kind of felt whole. And that's because they like each other. I mean, they get along, they hang out together, they work together on their route combinations, and they're always talking about stuff to get better there. And they've got a good friendship, which will be needed now because we got more guys and we only have one football. So you want them to help support each other, and I think that ends up being important. I think Juju has a big part of that, and he's a uniter, and he's still a tough guy and all that bit that goes with it, a good receiver, but and he's been around, so I think he keeps it all together there.
Hey, Coach, we've got two left. Let's go to Matt Derrick.
Hey, Coach. I saw, at the locker room after the game, you came up and gave a big pat on the back to Harrison Butker. What did you see on that? And have you literally learned anything on that first PAT miss that he had? And two, do you feel like he needed a little bit of encouragement at this point, especially, getting out there and getting that field goal and being consistent the rest of the night?
Yeah, listen, I just thought I'm a big Harrison Butker fan, so I think he's a great kicker, and if not the best, one of the best clutch kickers in the National Football League. So it was just good. I know how that thing goes. I know the swing. I understand all that, and sometimes that ball looks nice and fat, and other times it looks a little tiny. And so, but the first one he didn't hit very good on the PAT, and then he came back and finished strong the rest of the night. And I thought getting a field goal in there, I think that's big. I mean, listen, we're all human, and a little pat on the back. You're being nice on that, but a nice pat on the back it was a positive.
And you talked with Nick a little bit about the run game, but your running backs had, I believe, 74 yards last night. You haven't had a game where that they collectively have gotten over 100. Is there more that you're looking for from that game, especially to maybe take the load off of some of the things that Patrick has done to kind of augment those running, at least the running numbers?
Yeah, Pat had the 30 yards rushing. So, listen, he's going to rush no matter what. I mean, he's going to run the ball. There's just times when where if something doesn't look right, or maybe there's a pressure here or there, that he's going to take off and go. And so, I mean, I get that. It's important that he does like he did last night, where he got down on the ground and not take the big hits. With the exception of one run there, he was able to get down and try to limit the hits on him. So, and then listen, I thought our guys ran the ball well. I thought they had a good night at that. And, there was a mix. So when you do this RPO game, you're calling runs, but some of them turn into passes. That's the beauty of the thing. And so maybe your numbers are down just a little bit, but they end up increasing in the completions.
We'll close it out with Todd Palmer. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Coach, appreciate you, man.
Right, Todd.
So Hollywood obviously injured to start last season. You know, it took X a little while to get rolling last year, and you know, Rasheed was on fire before he got hurt. But we've never seen all three of them together on the field. You know, when they were at the height of their powers. How excited are you to see that trio on the field together? You know, coming up Sunday.
Yeah, no, I think that'll be a positive thing. They haven't been on the field together other than training camp, so it's I think they're looking forward to it, maybe even more than I'm looking forward to it. I mean, they're excited to play together. They're all those three are very close. So, um, we'll see how it all works out. I mean, I don't have a lot of promises for you, but I just it'll be great to get them back going and in the swing.